Okay, so I will start, obviously, in 1776. So what happens in this one remarkable year? And obviously, most people, probably all people watching this, would know about one of the things that happens. But I think much of what I'm saying in the book is that there are 7 key developments that you can see in a particularly intense form in that year. You have globalization, the Enlightenment, the sort of intellectual development that makes Europeans think that we are the first people to understand the world for itself, rather than just being taught what to believe. You have industrialization, which centers on the development of the steam engine, and developments in mining, and then trains and all the things that flow from it, electricity eventually. You have enrichment, which is really important, which is that if you looked at a map of how human beings have developed in wealth over the whole of human history, you would see it sort of bumps along like this for 10,000 years. And then somewhere around the 1770s shoots upwards and hasn't stopped rising since. Then you have democracy, which of course is the one development we do know about, most of us, because of the American Revolution. You have the move to post-Christianity, or ex-Christianity, where elites in Europe and North America begin to say, Christianity we're going to leave that behind, move beyond it. And then you have Romanticism, which is the sort of artistic and more sort of, it comes out in poetry and in music and art, but also shapes the way we think about the self and who we are in our image. And effectively, those 7 developments are all concentrated in this one year, and then they sort of explode out and shape almost everything in modern life. So the last 250 years is a story of increasing globalization as the world gets smaller and technology joins up more and more parts of the world. Actually, the Enlightenment, the way we think about ourselves and education and knowledge, is the way we think about science and history and women and slavery and all sorts of things are all connected in there. Industrial technology, as we know, just runs amok. The world gets richer and richer, and people live longer and healthier lives, although that brings a lot of damage as well. War, atom bombs, all that. You have democracy goes from one country, no countries in 1775, to one in 1776, to now, nearly every country on earth purports to be a republic. I think there's 6 countries on earth today that don't say they are either a democracy or a republic. Now, many of them aren't, as we would understand it, but that's what they say. And then, of course, post-Christianity, increasingly in Europe, and it's now coming, of course, to North America as well in some ways, and Romanticism. So those 7 developments, and I think that's how I would tell that story. But obviously I would say that because it's the book I've written, but I think the last 250 years is the story of how those 7 developments collided with one another and shaped much of what we now do, even in ways we're not even aware of. That we wouldn't see that romantic idea couples with this industrial technology to create this phenomenon of people being able to change their sex or whatever it might be. Do you see? It's a collision between an ideological thing, a material thing, an economic thing, which create a lot of the changes we're experiencing at the moment. And I hope that's a helpful way of thinking about it.